Welcome back to the channel where we focus less on trying and more on being the best version of ourselves. Today, we are going to talk about how to not feel discouraged by outside forces, outside influences when you are manifesting something, especially something specific. A lot of people will tell you to keep it to yourself. Don't tell other people what you're manifesting, especially if you are currently in an environment where the people around you aren't supportive, they don't understand manifestation, maybe they're not spiritual at all, or they're really religious, or they're just really not open-minded to this kind of thing at all. Those are the types of situations where you might want to keep it on hush. Do you know what I mean? The reason that people will tell you not to tell other people about your manifestations is not because the act of telling other people about your manifestations is going to cause you to not get it. There's nothing outside of you that's ever going to cause you to have or lose anything. It's all up to you, right? That's all about you, who you are, your state of being, your identity, and what you think you're capable of. So no matter what anybody else is telling you externally, you can still make a decision to be the version of you having that thing or to get what you want. It's literally, like I say all the time, I hope it's pounded into your head at this point. It is a choice. It is a decision based on who you are. Especially if you feel like you're in a state where you might be prone to wavering, or like I said, if you're in an unsupportive environment, you just know that if you tell somebody what you're doing, what you're manifesting, what your goals are, that they're going to be the type of people who are like, you're going to do what? What makes you think that you can do this? What makes you better than everybody else, thinking that you can have this and that? There's this sense of people wanting to latch onto you and not wanting to see you succeed, not wanting to see you thrive, not wanting you to have that feeling of, I'm better than this person because I was able to do this and this person is not. Now, that's not to say that that's what you think, but some people, when they see people have an extreme mindset shift, an extreme shift in the way that they act, in the way that they're being, in the way they think and talk about things, that is so shocking to them because they're used to seeing an old version of you. They're used to you being with them in that state of lack, in that state of not having enough, not being enough, not being able to do the things that they actually want to do. Because if you go off and do better, then this person knows that really there's no excuse for them not to do the same, other than that they've made a decision to continue to live in that state of victimhood. In order for some people to believe in you the way that you've believed in yourself, they need to see it. You've gone past the state of needing to see things to believe it. On the other hand, like I said, this is not a necessary part of manifestation, that you can't tell anybody what you're manifesting or that you manifest or that you're spiritual or whatever it is, that you know that you can create your reality. That it's not like Fight Club. You can talk about it. And I would encourage you to be in spaces like this or find like-minded people who also practice being aware of who they're being. That's a great thing to do, to look for people who are like-minded and have a safe space for you to talk about what you're creating in a supportive environment where people are going to encourage you, where people are going to affirm you, where people will see that unseen version of yourself like you see it in your mind's eye, like you see that mental image of yourself. It's those people who are constantly spewing negativity, constantly talking about their limiting beliefs, constantly complaining and gossiping, and just being in a state that's not beneficial to them or the people around them, that you want to not protect yourself from, because like I said, there's nothing that this person or these people can do or say to you that truly affects you. You are the deciding factor in all situations. But for your own mental well-being, for your ease, just for the simple fact that you don't want people like that around you or putting that kind of energy into your space at all, those are the moments where I would suggest you keep whatever you're manifesting to yourself, or keep that with a close friend, a best friend, a manifestation buddy on the internet. In spaces like this, you can tell me what you're manifesting. So yes, the negative people, the naysayers, the ones who constantly want to be in that state of just being unfulfilled, being miserable. Honestly, those kind of people are miserable. If you can't tell somebody something good, an ambition, a goal that you have, or what you're creating, what you know to be true about yourself and what you're capable of, then they're miserable because they don't want to see people do better. They don't want to see themselves do better, or they can't see themselves doing better. And so they don't want you to do that either. That's horrible. that's not fun for anybody. That's not an environment that's conducive to creating beautiful things. And so in that situation, in that scenario, I would suggest that you shield your manifestation, keep it close to your heart, and like I said, share with those people who you know are going to be a positive environment for what you're creating. If you do have to interact with these people, or just anybody asked you about something having to do with what you're manifesting, don't feel like there's a certain response that you have to have, like you have to lie, or that if you do talk about the old circumstances, that it's creating more of the same situation. Don't be afraid of telling your old story. It's that fear that the old story can't change, that you aren't in a new state, that you can't actually do this. Even speaking about it, even thinking about it, even sharing that information with somebody else is going to pull you back to that place. That fear is what recreates that situation. That's what manifests. The level of importance that you attach to the situation and the way that you feel when you're telling that story. So if somebody asks you if you and your SP are back together, or if you're in a relationship, whatever, and you tell them, no, I'm just taking some time for myself right now. I'm just focusing on my career, my family. I'm just focusing on me right now. Even if in your head, you're like, oh, me and my SP are already married. We're actually on our honeymoon right now in Turks and Caicos. We're living it up. It's a great time. In your head, you can mentally be there and still tell the reality of the current situation and know that what is in your head, what you are imagining, your mental image, your desire is stronger than whatever that old story is. Because it doesn't matter to you anymore, right? It has no importance. It has nothing to do with who you're being now, because you are the version of you being in your new story. So if that's not reflecting to you, then you're navigating the old story while moving into the new story. Just because you have to live your day-to-day life does not mean that things will not change in the future, or that things are not changing right now that you can't see. There is always unseen movement. Things are always happening behind the scenes. It's only the perception that nothing is moving, that nothing is happening, that keeps things stagnant and keeps you in that fear that the story can't change. So don't feel like you have to lie to other people about what you're manifesting. You're like, okay, so I'm not supposed to tell them, but I don't want to lie, but also I don't want to continue to reaffirm the old story. Don't worry about it. Guess what? Also, you have the free will to set boundaries and to tell people, hey, I'd actually prefer not to talk about that right now. I actually don't want to have this conversation with you right now. Actually, I think that that's not important in the general conversation, and so I'd like to move on. Can we change the topic? You have full authority and autonomy to do that at any time with any person. And if you're speaking to somebody who doesn't respect that you have boundaries, that you don't have to spill your entire life story to everybody that you talk to, then maybe you shouldn't be talking to that person, right? It is your choice, always. It will always come back to that. It is your choice. If you feel like the choices you are making are aligned with the path of least resistance, that you are making decisions from the highest version of yourself, then nothing that you are doing can be wrong. There's no wrong response. There's nothing that you should be doing other than being you. You are gorgeous, absolutely perfect, beautiful, exactly as you are. Everything is happening exactly as it needs to in this now moment, even if you cannot see it with your physical eyes. See it in your mind's eye and know that it's the truth. And don't worry about what anybody on the outside, what any situation reflecting to you has to say about what you're doing. So no, it doesn't actually matter what's coming out of your mouth. What matters is your dominant focus, the story that you're telling, and where you are putting your attention the majority of the time. You having a 10-minute conversation with somebody is not what's going to keep your manifestation away from you. Your state throughout the day, who you're being the majority of the time, and where you keep your focused attention is what manifests. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about what other people have to say to you. Who gives a shit? Tell them to fuck off. That's what I really wanted to say, okay? Yes, set boundaries, but also you're allowed to tell people to fuck off. You actually are allowed to do that. I don't know if you knew. Now you do. So do with that information as you will. Even if somebody is straight up telling you to your face, that's not true. That's never gonna happen. Who do you think you are? You're not capable of doing this. Okay, Don't sit there and argue with that person. There doesn't need to be an argument because there's a knowing. You know who you are, and you know that this person is reflecting an old version. That's not who you are anymore. So you're not going to react to that because that's not for you to react to. They're literally not even talking about you. You're literally not even that person. So what they're saying doesn't make any sense. And in that moment, you remind yourself, I know what the truth is because I get to decide the truth. I'm the only one who gets to decide the truth. And what just came out of this person's mouth is false. That's a lie. Disregard whatever they're saying. Do what you need to do to get away from that person, get away from that situation, and then remind yourself who you are. Disregard it. Like I said, unimportant. It doesn't matter because it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with where you're going. And one single person, a multitude of people even, cannot affect your manifestation. They cannot affect who you are unless you allow them to, unless you give them the power to decide for you who you are and what you're capable of. Okay, I do have a Neville quote. I always have a Neville quote. Okay, so here's the Neville quote of the day. The promise is definite that if you are shameless in your impudence in assuming that you already have that which your senses deny, it shall be given unto you. Your desire shall be attained. That's it. When you hear impudence, you might think, okay, like, I don't want to be disrespectful. Like, I thought we were supposed to be over here being grateful, love and light, little daisies, sunshine and rainbows over here. No, it's not disrespectful to have a story, to have a truth about yourself, and to know that that's who you are and to not accept anything else. What's disrespectful is you continuing to live in a state and live in a story where you are not getting what you want, where you feel unfulfilled, where you feel like you're not valued, and you're not getting what you need out of life. That's literally, you're here to experience all of that. If you desire something, then it's yours. That's now your truth. Anything outside of that, you denying yourself that experience is what's disrespectful, okay? Respect your own knowing, your higher self's knowledge that you desire this experience and that if you desire this experience, it can and is already created. The only thing that you have to do is tune in to the version of you who is already living that experience. I'm so sorry that I'm shaking the camera. Listen to me. This is important. It is not anybody else's decision to say what you can and can't desire, what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. It is not an external factor or an external person that is keeping you from getting what you want. It is only you. It is always only you. So you have to be brazenly impudent. You have to not care what these people on the outside are saying. You have to give it no importance, no value, or you just have to not tell these people. These people obviously don't deserve a spot in your life anyway. So why would you care about their opinion, about what you're doing, about what you think is possible, about who you think you are? They don't even know who they are. So why would you take their advice? Why would you take anything that they said as fact, as truth? You are the deciding factor. You have the power of God, literally the I am presence within you. And with that power, you're taking that, letting other people dictate what's possible for you to do, what you're going to experience. When you literally came here to experience what you want, you literally created an entire reality just for you to experience yourself. And you're going to let other people from their realities, from their own limited perspective and experiences of what they've been able to accomplish, what they're capable of, who they are, dictate who you are in your now moment. And your now moment creates your future. So forever, you're letting other people dictate your experience? No, that's not what we're doing. That's absolutely not what we're doing because you're capable of more. That is a fact. It's not, can I get this manifestation? Can I get this thing? Am I capable of doing this? It's whatever you say it is. So if you tell yourself you're not capable of doing this, then you're not. And if you tell yourself that if you talk about it too much, then people are going to put negative energy on you and the evil eye on you, and other people are always wishing on your downfall, and that's the reason why you're not where you want to be, then you're always going to be dictated by other people. Always. If those types of things are what's keeping you from being the version of you that you want to be, you're never going to get there. And that's not a limiting belief. That's you. You've created that experience because you accept that as truth, that other people are allowed to literally use you as a playground, that you are an actor in somebody else's movie, somebody else's projection, and you don't get to write the script. Or if somebody comes in and revises your script, changes some notes around here and there, that you have to do what they said because they must know better than you do, right? They have more experience. They're more wise. They're older. They know more. They have all these accolades. They've been here and done this and done that, so they must know better than me. Nobody knows you better than you. Nobody. Make a decision to be the deciding factor in your life. Make a decision to not let external people, external factors, external forces, how many times can I say external, decide what you get to do, who you get to be, what you get to experience. That's dumb. That's stupid. We're not going to do that anymore. Let's just end it there. We're just not going to do that anymore. Just because why would you? Why would you do that? Sometimes we need to use that left side of our brain. Who do you think you are telling me what I can do, what I'm capable of? No, that's you. Those are your own negative assumptions about yourself, about your reality, your own limiting beliefs. That has nothing to do with me. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. That's a choice that you made. I'm making a different choice. And if you think differently, go live out that reality elsewhere, because in my reality, I have a safe, loving, nurturing place for me to manifest whatever the I want. I can do whatever the I want, regardless of what you think is possible. End of the story. That's the story. That's the script, is whatever I decide. Me. Every time. Every time it's you. Every single time. Be free from the limitations of yourself, first and foremost, and of other people. Know that there will always be more to learn. There will always be more to do, more to experience, more to be aware of. Consciousness never stops expanding. There's not going to be a day where we're like, okay, that's it. We know it all now. It's done. That's a wrap. Literally until we reabsorb back into source consciousness, all that is, and just exist as nothingness and everythingness in some black hole somewhere. I don't know. I don't know that experience, because that's not the experience we're having right now. We're having an individual experience where we're creating our own realities. So create from the awareness that you have now and do what you need to do with the information you have. This information right here is enough for you to create whatever you want, and whatever comes in the future to show you a new experience, to show you how you can evolve, to show you how you can level up to even better and better versions of yourselves, can be taken in stride. Find new information, be like, okay, I like that, or nope, no thank you, and move on. Don't be scared that you don't know enough, that you're not doing enough, that you're not capable enough right now in this now moment, because you are. And that knowledge that you are is enough. Of course, always leave space to be self-aware, space to improve, but don't think that that means that you're not perfect, whole, and complete as you are right now, that you can't do whatever it is you want to do right now, because you can. Decisions. You have decisions to make, okay? New story, new script. So get to writing, get to visualizing, get to being that version of yourself now. The best version of yourself. And if the best version of yourself today and the best version of yourself tomorrow are different, great. Love it. So, path of least resistance. If this is who I am today, then this is who I am. And so what? I get to create from this state because I am. Maybe I'll do more tomorrow. Maybe I won't. So, still getting what I want. Still, listening to me, who is the actual ultimate authority on all things. Me. Thank you. And if you think differently, literally just wave them goodbye. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for me today. I really hope you guys enjoyed and got something of value from this video. Please be sure to leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment box below, and check out the description for my social media links, services, all that good stuff is down below. And other than that, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.